Welcome to the kitchen this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. You know what they say about better late than never? That's what we're doing this morning. Chef Adeola is making breakfast for us. Remember what I said about having mashed sweet potatoes? Let's hear from the, I was going to say the horses, from the beauty's mouth.
Okay, thank you.
So Chef Adeola, tell us, what is for breakfast?
Okay, mashed sweet potatoes in tomatoes with tomato sauce and fish. Fried fish.
Okay,
yes.
So she's already prepared. It's been filleted already. So
yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
So for the sweet potatoes, we'll be using milk and oil.
Milk and oil.
Mash, yes. To give
What kind of milk?
This is evaporated milk, but I'm going to dilute it into whole milk a bit. Okay. But not with fresh, with the same water coming from the
potato.
Yes.
Okay. So then we have
the tomato sauce.
This is
canned tomatoes, chopped canned tomatoes, and this is fresh one.
Okay. There's no pepper at all.
There's pepper. There's habanero pepper in this one.
Okay. Okay. Yes. All right. And then there's salt.
The milk and the oil. The oil is also going for everything that is for the tomato sauce and the fish. Okay. The fish has been pre-seasoned with peppers and some spices. Okay. Okay. Yes. Then we're using lime for
For acidity,
taste, yes. So then garlic for the tomato sauce seasoning, ginger powder, but still has garlic in it.
All right. Yes. So the ginger powder, is it deliberate instead of using fresh garlic?
Fresh ginger?
Yeah, fresh ginger rather.
Powdered spices add flavor very fast, and they're easy to preserve.
My opinion.
You prefer fresh?
No, I actually think powdered spices go a long way. Yes. It depends on how you use it. Yes. Some chefs swear by the fresh ones, and that's fine. But I always feel it's easier to manipulate the flavor using
and easier to preserve and work with.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Okay, so run us through the process. How are we going to put this together?
So I've cubed my sweet potatoes into as tiny as possible.
Nicely cubed.
So that
this must have taken a lot of work.
Yes, I'll give it enough time to cook.
Okay.
So while doing that, I'll focus on my tomato sauce and the fish. Make sure I fry everything up. It's ready, and this also.
Should we start with frying the fish?
Yes, we can do both since we have two spaces.
All right, so let's get started. I'm really looking forward to putting this dish together. Now, sweet potatoes, when we have chefs come in here to make mashed potatoes or potato-based dish, we tend to ask them, is it possible to use sweet potato? And they go, no, the Irish potato gives it the best texture and all. But then, of course, today, she agrees. She says, yes, it gives the best texture. But today, we're trying to see what you can do within your budget. And that's why we have sweet potatoes, mashed sweet potatoes. If you're a fan of mashed potatoes, this might be another way to tweak it. The ingredients are currently on your screen right now, in case you missed anything earlier. Talking about mashed potatoes and tomato sauce. Tomato. Yeah. Okay, so we're ready to go.
Yes, for the tomato sauce,
a bit of oil.
Not too much. You shouldn't be showing oil like the normal Nigerian stew. It's not a Nigerian-based meal. Okay. So
the littlest amount of oil
shouldn't be too much. Then we'll go and get the garlic to release its flavor into the oil. Okay.
That garlic works magic.
Yes. As
in magic, in ways I cannot describe. I'm a huge fan of ginger and garlic. So allow me. I really love ginger and garlic. There's just something they do to dishes that I cannot even explain. The flavor, the aroma, it's magical. So we're using all the onions immediately. Yes. Okay. All right. So remember, we're doing this for the tomato stew.
Yes, tomato sauce.
Yeah, so the sauce rather. So let's see how that goes.
Can smell the garlic already.
Yes, of course. It's going to be in my clothes all day. Of course I can smell it. Yeah. So do you also sweat your ginger powder? Because I tend to put my powder now.
Okay, yes, I'll put
bit of it, then I can now add later.
Yes, I do what I call a double addition for some meals, not all meals.
Yeah.
So I add to the oil first.
Yeah.
Then later on, I adjust the taste. Maybe I'm not satisfied with what I have. Yeah. I can add again.
From experience, I've realized that you need to cook, 1, on low heat, and 2, with moderation. So when you're adding stuff, keep gauging it. You don't need to have everything inside because you never can tell. At that point, you might go to the salty avenue or to the spicy avenue. Yes, so you always need to be careful how you add your spices. Okay, so this, we're allowing it to steam a bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what happens next?
We're going with our garlic.
With the garlic?
With the ginger and garlic powder.
Okay, the powder. Okay.
Yes. Just a
little. So, yeah. That looks perfect for it. And then some people might be watching and saying, this amount of ginger and garlic look little for this amount of pepper. Do you agree?
We called it tomato sauce.
Oh my goodness, the ginger and garlic. See
and
what
again,
I mean about the powder?
When you're frying, you get more flavor. I don't need to overdo it.
Yes.
Some people, when you're cooking and it's not for you alone, you put allergies in mind.
Yeah,
you put differences in body system, the way our metabolism works. You put it in mind.
Even preferences as well.
So when you use too much spices, some people have very good taste, but they can tell you what you used.
Yeah.
But frying reduces that sharpness, harshness on the body system. Ginger, for example, can affect the intestinal walls and stomach walls if it's too harsh.
So if your tummy isn't strong, I can imagine just how much you'd rather not have it.
Yes.
Okay, so are we ready to put in?
Yes, I want to go with the canned tomatoes.
The canned tomatoes. Can I achieve this using fresh tomatoes?
Yes.
How?
You divide your tomatoes into two. You blend one smooth, then chop the other one.
Okay.
Then you soak the chopped one in the blended one so that it can soften up.
Do I put vinegar or something just to keep it?
You can, yes.
So
and
that's
you can
why
always use your lime, yes.
The lime.
Or lemon.
Or lemon, okay.
So I'll allow this to boil up before I add that one.
Okay, because tomato is a very, very tricky fruit to use in the sense that, you know, when you overdo it with tomatoes, it can, how do I put it? It can taste sour. Yes, that's the word. It can taste really sour. So you need to also create a balance when you're putting your dish together with tomatoes, or else you end up doing the, you know, that look. Okay, so this is going to steam for how long?
In 15-20 minutes.
It should be ready.
For this one, we are not timing. We just want it to boil. Once it boils,
we'll put the pepper mix. So altogether, 15-20 minutes.
Most likely.
Okay, so we can start off with the frying of the fish now. Okay, so let's move. Let's move.
Using very little oil.
I think I should move this here.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so you can have access to this.
This burner?
Yeah, so I'm going to increase the other side and then.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so let's get it on. So the fish fillet.
Yes, is from what we call cote.
Cote.
But us mackerel.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You know, most times when people talk about fish fillet, they tend to go for
white fish.
White fish.
Yes.
So this is what we're talking about when we talk about affordability. See? So these are easily, in quotes, accessible. I'm using in quotes because we know the cost of seafood these days. But yes, they are easily affordable in comparison to white fish. So you could use this as an option. Fillet your regular cote and you get the same results. So when we talk about fillet, it means it's been deboned.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically it's just a fancy word, yeah, for deboned fish, basically.
No, okay. I want to eat on low a bit.
On low for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe 4, yes,
okay.
That's fine.
Okay. I have a feeling I reduced the wrong one, so let me fix it. Okay, so we have to take a break now. We'll continue with the cooking process, and I'm pretty sure we'll have the dish ready in time for our last guest. Right now, however, keep in mind you're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us, we'll be right back. You're welcome again to the kitchen this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. Breakfast is still on Chef Adeola, and she's making for us something really interesting. Mashed sweet potatoes with tomato sauce. That's what we're having for breakfast. Okay, so far so good. Our potatoes are boiling nicely. We have our sauce also already cooking. Here it is. So we're just, I think it's steamed already. So soon enough we'll put the
fresh
pepper.
one.
Yes. Yeah. And then now we are frying the fish. So this is something you can do, especially when you have young children or elderly folks that you don't want to have to deal with burn, okay? So just debone it and you still have the same fish, and it's easier to eat that way, if you get what I mean. Okay, so now let's get on with this, adding the fresh pepper. Yeah, so we're putting the fresh pepper to the tomatoes. That's the fresh tomatoes. Yeah, so there we go. Now we let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So that's just about what it is. Okay, so this fish, what did you use to season it?
I used pepper, regular dry pepper.
Okay.
I used garlic powder. I used mixed spices.
Okay.
I used a little bit of curry powder. Okay. Yes, you can use paprika if you have it. You can use black pepper if you have it.
Okay, okay, okay. So
and of course salt.
And of course salt, yes, absolutely. Now this comes...
More time to just dry out a bit more.
Yeah. So I love exploring with food, and especially when it comes to spices.
In fact, that was what made me try sweet potatoes for mash.
And it worked?
Yes.
It wasn't as smooth,
not as
I believe.
Smooth,
yeah.
Not as smooth.
Not as smooth. Okay. So, you know how we have different blenders these days for different purposes?
Yes.
Is it possible, instead of me having to mash, I throw it into a blender? Yes. Okay, an immersion blender as well.
Yes, you can use, but that is after adding your liquids and mashing up with the regular, maybe you have your spatula or a mash. You do that first. So if you are not satisfied with the texture,
you can now use the
so that you don't destroy the
that
blender.
Using that immersion blender actually gives a beautiful
smooth
consistency.
Texture, yes.
Like you see some gadgets and you ask yourself, why does this exist? What do we need this for? Until you actually use it, because you're thinking, this looks like a whisk. It does a different job. There's something about how it smoothens and makes food so consistent. It's beautiful to use, really. Okay, so that's the other side. So you left the skin on, and it looks amazing. That's the advantage of non-stick pot.
And it's not all fish you can easily remove the skin.
True.
White fish is easier to remove.
Yes.
There are some that if you remove, you can have it. You won't have the fillet standing together. So that's why I left part of the skin.
But this is beautiful. Because then, of course, when you cut into it, it cuts nicely.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can imagine what the taste will be when it's all done. This looks really nice. Breakfast is coming along together quite well. All we need to do is wait for this to boil a few more minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll mash it. And, of course, after mashing, we would also ensure that we put our stew together. Sauce before Chef Adeola comes after me. So we ensure we put it together. There's something I like to do with my sauce though. Cumin.
Okay.
There's a burst of flavor it gives, especially when it goes with tomatoes.
Wow.
Are there other such spices that
one spice that I know that goes very excellently with tomatoes is black pepper.
Black pepper.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost all the time. It goes very well with it.
So black pepper and tomatoes, that's something that you should take note of. I use a lot of peppers, so I'm going to ensure that I stick to just black pepper when it comes to tomatoes, so that the flavor can really, really show. Because I swear by cumin, but now I'm going to try this black pepper idea. Okay, so we'll get on with this. Why are you doing that?
I want to get more juice.
So you know how we do that for agbalumo when we were young?
Yes, I want to get more juice.
So it does give more juice, really?
Yes, or you can just boil.
Or you can boil?
Yes.
Boil your lime?
Yes, or lemon. If you notice the skin is a bit, if you touch it now, it's softer.
It's softer, yes.
If you notice the skin is a bit tough, just boil it up, set it aside.
For how long?
You're ready to use. Once the water boils, bring it out.
You bring it out,
yes,
okay.
You'll have more juice.
You know what they say? You learn every day. You learn every day, indeed.
You can't eat this. Well, you've already started. You've already picked spoon. Calm down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't pick spoon. Calm down.
It's actually a wonder that you are petite.
Right?
Welcome to the kitchen. Today's chef is Chef Adeola, and she's made breakfast, which of course is mashed sweet potatoes with tomato sauce.
I love it.
Okay, so please dig in. We'd like to have
She
you.
has picked spoon.
She already took the spoon.
No,
So that's in fact what she had said. I wish you had
I
heard.
was smelling something. I said, no, TVC people want to...
What?
Please, can I come here next week? I should come, Abby.
Please have a taste.
Thank you.
Have a taste.
Like your tattoo.
Thank you. I know I'm so dramatic. So please walk me through what I'm having.
Yes,
okay,
please.
mashed sweet potatoes in spicy tomato sauce and fish, fried fish.
Okay.
Is this panla?
No, this is mackerel.
Mackerel, okay.
You know, I've always wondered what the difference between mackerel and Titus.
They are both mackerel, but one is, they have different
Species.
Yeah, I think there's even a third one.
they have a compound name. So this one is also mackerel. I've forgotten the name of the other.
Okay.
So
They're
is this
both
like
in the same family.
Yes.
So is this like an African dish or?
No, it's not.
Okay, what dish is this?
It has its Italian version and that is Greek version. Yes.
So what do you think?
Afrocentric meal.
I love it. Can I take the 2 plates home?
Yes.
You could also carry the kitchen home. Okay, well, it's a good thing to have breakfast like this. It's perfect, especially considering what we discussed during the WhatsApp.
I think the
this
kids
is something you can also
Right.
incorporate into your dishes, especially when it comes to food for your children.
For
Thank you
kids?
so much, Chef
Yes,
Adeola.
they can.
Is there like a recipe for when I have kids in the future? You know,
Don't worry. Soon. We can get that recipe for you. But we have Walex standing by.
Food and music, remember?
Yes, so.
did you add milk in this?
Yes.
Because I'm a good cook. I'm not bad babe like you know the carry out.
Cassandra, off your mind.
Walex G, take it away.